We're recording.
Hey! Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. How's it going?
Oh, what was that?
Oh,
So, hey, we thought we are the two Gathering Synod coordinators I am Casey Cross. I'm the Gathering Synod coordinator for the Eastern Washington, Idaho Synod.
and I'm Andrew Rickel. I'm the Synod coordinator for the Oregon Synod.
Cool. And we're kind of close and we like to hang out and talk online like this. And we thought we would invite you into our conversation, introduce ourselves a little, and share some of the things we're excited about as we prepare for the gathering.
Yeah. So this is going to be my third gathering altogether. But it's been a few years. I'm not going to say how many years since my last one. So this new format that they've been going with for the past couple of years in New Orleans and Detroit is still kind of new to me. So I'm pretty excited to get down and to check this out because I haven't really been around since they've been doing the individual Synod Day and service days and interactive days and all that. So I think it's going to be a pretty exciting opportunity, but I have no idea what to expect. So I'm both pretty excited about that, but also slightly terrified at the same time. So
it's good to have a healthy balance, I think. It just keeps you on your toes, keeps you aware, keeps your senses in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
I have been to quite a few gatherings. I went to 2 of them as a youth, and I've been to both New Orleans too. I've been to about 4 of them as a leader now, I think. Okay. Primary leader, and then also I got to be the Synod Day coordinator, and this year I'm the Gathering Synod coordinator. So I'm really excited. The sound the same, but they're different. Synod Day and the Synod coordinator. Anyway, so I'm excited to kind of help and share from my experience that way, but it's mostly just fun to be there and work with people like Andrew.
Yeah.
So, since you haven't been recently, it's really cool. I love the way that they have designed the gathering, and it's going to be different this year too, even from what we've known, because we have a new director. Is that the title of the gathering?
Director. We'll go with that.
I think she'll appreciate that we know that so well. So she's brought some new people into leadership, and she's brought a little bit of new vision there too. So it might not be the way I even remember it from the last gathering in Detroit. So I'm looking forward to that, though. I like that stuff. I like not always knowing.
Yeah, and I feel like somebody mentioned this at one of the trainings that Casey and I were at a while ago, of being like, you might have been at the Detroit gathering, or you might have been at the New Orleans ones, and we ran those and put those on, but like none of us have done the Houston gathering before. So this is all completely new to everybody. So it's both kind of humbling and exciting in that way, because it's like we're all kind of diving into this experience together that none of us have been through before, specifically in 2018 in Houston, Texas type of thing.
For sure. I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind. So who cares how many gatherings I've been to? Every time it's different. And I think Andrew's right in saying it's humbling, because we need to stay humble, because this really is a spirit event. God is doing things already in Houston in preparation. I mean, before we even started preparing, obviously God is there, and God's going to do things with us as leaders and the youth that we have no idea about. And it's really good to kind of stay humble and open and ready for what that might be, and aware, so we can point it out and really celebrate it together. I know that sounds scary to a lot of people, because not everyone's as excited by that as I am, but about the not knowing. But it's really a wonderful part of the gathering, and one reason I love it. And I really try to make a point to bring my youth and adults there every chance I get.
Yeah. It's really exciting. And for me, and I think someone just shared with me the other day, like their view on the gathering, and it really kind of struck a chord with me of just really saying that, for them, and I think the more I've thought about it for me as well, it's like the gathering like gives us this like incredible opportunity to live out our baptismal covenant, where it's an opportunity to live out all those things in the very like hyper local time, and like very much in a very specific place. And we're gathered with people from the church around the world, but yet we're also gathered with our like very like specific congregation. So we get that like larger body of Christ, but we get that smaller body of Christ as well. It gives us that chance to, in our baptism, we say, we're going to proclaim Christ through word and deed. We are there in a city proclaiming Christ the entire week. We're there. We care for others and the world God made. We have the opportunity to do service where we're not just going to be able to give and to serve, but, we're going to be receiving that experience and that opportunity. And it's going to be a chance for us to work for justice and peace. And we are there with the body kind of living out what we say we're going to do in our baptism. And for you guys watching this, being kind of like primary leaders and all that kind of stuff, I mean, that's one of those pieces I think you can kind of really talk up, is that, you know, in the waters of our baptism, we say X, Y, and Z is going to happen. And what our piece of that is, you know, being God's faithful people, coming to worship and communion, learning the creed, the 10 commandments, learning prayers, and learning to trust in God and to do those things. And the gathering is really a chance to do that, like in just one block of time. And then the fun piece, I think, and it's a little daunting for some, is then when you bring that home, and about like what it's like when you bring it home to say, like, we did these things, we learned these things, now how do we keep this going? Mm-hmm. So it's not just the mountaintop experience, but it's something that becomes about our everyday lives, like our baptism is.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we're hoping to do with these videos, is we're going to talk through each of those things. So right now this is a chance for just us to introduce ourselves a little, but we're going to talk more about what it's like when we're there, a little bit more of the preparation for getting there, but a lot when we're there, and then what Andrew just said about what we do when we take it home. And we hope you'll just join us on these little videos as we do that. We'll do the best we can to kind of cover things that maybe you're curious about or have questions about, but mostly we just want to invite you into the conversation. And another thing to keep in mind, also to touching on what Andrew said about our baptismal promises, is that, you know, we have confirmation, we have these different things in place we're trying to teach our youth about, and a lot of times it seems like it's just going in one ear out the other over their heads, and it's just stuff, it's just words, and these funny words like baptismal, like we can't even say that sometimes. But at the gathering, it's a chance for our youth to really live it and practice it together. They might not know they're doing that. Eventually, I think it will settle when they get a little older, and they'll be like, that's what that was. But this is really the place for us where we live it together. And it's really amazing to watch them do it in a really organic way, and not in a way that like we can always make happen with our programming at home. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to be taken out of your comfort zone to really live it. And it's cool to see it come out so naturally for our youth. So please just remember, this is the whole scope of living out our faith together, and the gathering is just one piece of that. And but it's an important piece, especially for high schoolers who sometimes feel isolated in their faith, or what does it mean to be Lutheran? And they could see it themselves touched and connected to this huge body of Christ, and, you know, free hugs, high fives, and saying the Lord's Prayer together, and doing those kind of ritualistic aspects of our faith together in this big new way. It's going to bring it to life for them in like a way that they have never experienced. And so it's really important that we offer this to our kids for them, but also so they're living out their faith and not just thinking it, but they're knowing it with their heart too. Yeah. So those are some of the reasons why I really love it. And we hope you'll just meet us again at our next video and get a little bit more into that preparation with our covenant and conflict aspects, and then when you're there, what to expect, and also how to take it back home.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. This changes everything.
Oh, yeah. The song's going to be in your head.
All right. Stay tuned for number 2.